Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ritika Mani, Assistant Professor at Dolphin PG Institute of Biomedical and Natural Sciences from the Department of Physiotherapy. Our today's topic is about traction. So now let us discuss it. Traction, which is defined as an act of drawing or exerting a pulling force applied to limbs, bones or other tissue along the longitudinal axis of structure to pull the tissue apart, often for realignment, as it is the application of pulling force to a part of body. Traction, as according to the history, let us discuss about it. The use of traction was very there in the ancient time, back 3000 years, by the Egyptians. Hippocrates in 350 BC wrote about the manual traction and the forces of extension and counter extension. They treated fracture shaft of the femur and leg with the leg straight in extension. Even Pervical Pot in 1714, he taught that the fractured limb should be placed in the position in which the muscles are most relaxed. Guy de Chauliac in 1300 introduced the continuous traction used extensively in the Civil War for fractured femur. Josiah Crosby first demonstrated and effectively promote the use of the skin traction for the treatment of shaft of the femur. Even Thomas Brandt introduced the Brandt traction for the treatment of fracture shaft in children. Many other scientists also, Steinman and Lawrence, they even taught about the traction procedure. The Lawrence was the father of traumatology, popularized skeletal traction worldwide by the means of Steinman pin after he devised Bowler's stirrup. Now, the general considerations of the traction is that it is very safe and dependable way of treating the fractures for more than 100 years. Bone can be reduced and held by soft tissue with the help of traction procedure, and as it is very less of infection at the fracture site while we are applying a traction to any patient, allows more joint mobility than the plasters. These are the general consideration when we go with the traction procedures. Purpose of the traction is that it helps in regaining the normal length and the alignment of involved bone, can be used to reduce and immobilize a fracture bone. It is very important as it helps in relieving the pain also. Rest of the limb is remain in the functional position. It relieves the pressure on nerves, even relieves and eliminates the muscle spasm, helps to prevent or reduce the skeletal deformities or muscle contraction. Even correction of the soft tissue contracture is there by pulling them gradually. The disadvantages of traction procedure is that it is very costly in terms of hospital stay. Hazards of prolonged bed rest can be occur like DVT, thromboembolism, pneumonia is seen in the patients. Requires continuous nursing care during traction procedure and it can develop contractures. So, the essential tool we use during traction procedure is that the firm mattress or the bed board when at the time of traction. It facilitate or eliminate the head end and foot end of the bed. We go with the frame, trapeze, monkey ropes and side rails to shift the position during traction procedure. Bars, pulleys and ropes can be used during skeletal traction apparatus and plaster cast material. Constant care and vigilance is very important to avoid all the hazards or prolonged bed rest. Now, the types of traction are manual traction, skin traction and skeletal traction. Skin traction can be divided as adhesive and non-adhesive type. The skin traction force applied over a large area of the skin. Adhesive and non-adhesive skin traction, these are the two types. Skeletal traction is applied directly to the bone either by a pin or wire through the bone, that is Steinman pin, Denham pin and Kirschner wire, that is K wire we use during the treatment. Now, other one include based on the mechanism, it can be fixed traction or sliding traction. In the fixed traction, by applying force against the fixed point of the body is used, like which we used in fixed traction like in Thomas split. Sliding traction by tilting bed so that the patient tends to slide in opposite direction to the traction force. Example include Hamilton-Russell traction and Perkins traction. Now, the principles of effective traction include counter traction must be used to achieve the effective traction. There can be counter traction is the force acting the opposite direction. Usually the patient's body and the bed position adjustment supplies the needed counter traction. It should be according to the patient position. Now let us discuss about the skin traction as used as a definitive method of treatment as well as a first aid for temporary measure. The traction force is applied over a large area. This spreads the load and is more comfortable and efficient. Force applied is transmitted from the skin to the bones via the superficial fascia, deep fascia and the intermuscular septum. As the mechanism, that is traction is applied over a large area, we know that when it is applied, it transmitted from the skin to bones. Then for the better efficiency, the traction force is applied only to the limb distal to the fracture. The maximum weight during traction is recommended about 6.7 kg depending upon the size and the age of the patient. 1/10 of the body weight is mainly used. Skin damage can result from too much of the traction force, so it should be very carefully done. As we have discussed, it is of two types, adhesive type and non-adhesive type. In adhesive type, we use adhesive strapping which can be stretched only transversely. During this, we avoid adhesive strapping over the bony prominence. Then it can be safely used for 4 to 6 weeks. It may be pulled down day by day. As in the diagram also you have seen this. Now, in non-adhesive skin traction, these are usually very thin and used in atrophic skin or when there is sensitivity to adhesive strapping. It is applied in the similar fashion as adhesive skin traction. As the grip is very less secure, frequent reapplication may be necessary. Attached traction weight should not be more than 4.5 kg in non-adhesive tractions. What are the indications for skin traction is that temporary management of the neck of the fractures. By this traction, management of the femoral shaft fracture in older and the healthy children is used. Undisplaced fractures of acetabulum is also treated by this type of traction. Even after reduction of dislocation of hip, we use this. To correct the minor fixed flexion deformities of hip and knee, there is the use of skin traction. For the management of low back ache is also there. We can use this type of traction. Post gelatin amputation is also to approximate the tissue, it is also done by the skin traction procedure. Now, contraindications include like in case of abrasion and laceration of the skin in the area to which the traction is to be applied, varicose vein and impending gangrene, like impairment of circulation. If there is impairment of circulation, varicose ulcers, impending, then there is contraindication of this type of treatment. Marked shortening of bony fragments where more traction weight has to be applied. It is also contraindicated in this type. Any fragile condition of skin or if there is any dermatitis, then this condition is contraindicated. Now, let us discuss the traction called as buck traction. In this is used in the temporary management of the fracture of femoral neck, intertrochanteric fractures, femoral shaft in older children, undisplaced fractures of the acetabulum in place of pelvic tractions, to correct the minor flex deformities of the hip or knee in this case also, and in place of pelvic fractions in management of low back pain. Can be used tape or pre-made boots. With the help of this we go with the traction of buck. Not more than 4.5 kg weight is used during buck traction and not used to obtain or hold the reduction in buck traction. This is the diagrammatic representation we can see in this. This is the buck traction. Mainly during buck traction, apply adhesive strapping above the knee or in the elderly went to form skin traction. Support the leg with pillow during this. Attach 2.3 or 3.2 kg of weights to the cord, right? And then elevate the foot end of the bed. This is the application procedure, how we can apply the buck traction. Now, next is the Hamilton-Russell traction, which is used for the management of the fracture of femoral shaft after arthroplasty operation of the skin of hip. Buck traction with the sling under the knee is used. It is used for the management of the fracture of shaft of the femur, and how to apply it, that below the knee skin traction is applied. Pulley attached to the spreader, and soft spring is there around under the knee. Then what will be the weight around for the adults? It is about 3.6 kg, and for the children it is up to 0.28 to 1.8 kgs weights for the Russell traction. Based on the law of the parallelogram of the forces, that two pulleys block at the foot of the bed, and then theoretically doubles the pull on the limb, and resultant traction is in the axis of 30 during this traction Hamilton, and 30 to the horizontally. Then that is the line of the shaft of the femur. If we draw imaginary line, this will show the imaginary line of the shaft of the femur. Now, next is the gallows traction. During gallows, this is useful for the child younger than 2 years of age. You can see in the diagram. This is also called as Brand's traction, as I have discussed in the previous slide. During this, careful examination of the neuromuscular status of the extremity is mandatory in the early period after application of traction. Apply adhesive strap to both the limbs, as you can see in the diagram. Then tie the traction cords to an overhead beam. Tighten the traction cord to raise the buttock, just clear the mattress, and counter traction is obtained by the weight of the pelvis. Now, the vascular complication of the Brand tractions may be occur in either the injured or normal limb. So, a careful check must be done in both the limbs during first 24 to 72 hours by checking the color, the temperature of the limbs, or dorsiflexion of both the ankle passively. The Brand traction is for under 2 years of age, very safe, and 2 to 4 years vascular complications or more can be prevented by using the posterior splinting. We can see there can be the risk of compartment syndrome, vascular insufficiency, nerve palsy, skin breakdown when tested. Now, there can be a modified Brand traction also for the children in the initial management of CDH when diagnosed over 1 year after 5 days of abduction of the hip is started. Next is the Dunlop traction. In this, this is mainly used for the supracondylar and transcondylar fracture in children. This method is useful in flexion of the elbow, causing circulatory embarrassment with the loss of radial pulse. You can see in the diagram. It may be used as the means of reducing or maintaining the reduction of the fracture. This is applied directly to the bone by the means of pin or wire driven through the bone. It is used more frequently in the management of lower limb fractures. It should be reversed or those cases in which the skin fracture is contraindicated. It may be employed as the mean of reducing or maintaining the reduction of fracture. It should be reserved for those cases in which the skin traction is contraindicated. Equipments, as I have discussed, we use Steinmann pin, Denhams pins, and K-wires. So, Steinmann pin, these are the rigid stainless steel pins of varying length of about 4 to 6 mm in diameter. Bowler stirrup is attached to the Steinmann pin, which allows the direction of the traction to be varied without turning the pin in the bone. In this diagram, you can see these type of pins are used. Similar to the Steinmann pin, next one is the Denman pin, which is very similar to Steinmann pin, except for the short threaded length situated in the center and held in the introducer. This threaded portion engages the bony cortex and reduces the risk of pin sliding used in cancellous bone like calcaneum and osteoporotic bone. It engages the bony cortex and reduces the risk of pin sliding. In the diagram you can see this is the Denman pin. Next is the K wires. These are very small diameter wires, insufficiently rigid until the pull taut in a specific stirrup. Rotation of the stirrup is impacted to the wire. Though they are very thin, but if proper special stirrup is used, they can withstand a large traction force. The common side, the complications of this type of traction include infection into the bone. There can be distraction at the fracture site, and ligamentous damage can also be seen. Damage to the apophyseal growth plate can also occur, and depressed scars are seen during this treatment. Now, next is your proximal tibial traction. In this is used for the distal 2/3 of the femoral shaft fractures and for the intratrochanter fractures. Tibial pin allows the rotational movements, easy to avoid the joint and growth plate. 2 cm they applied distal and posterior to the tibial tubercle. Pin should be driven from the lateral to the medial side to avoid the damage to the common peroneal nerve. It should be very carefully done while applying this type of wires. Next is the calcaneal traction, where we use temporary traction for tibial shaft fractures or calcaneal fracture. There we insert about 1.5 inches, 4 cm inferior posterior to the medial malleoli. Do not skewer the subtalar joints or NV bundles during the treatment and maintain the slight elevation of the limb. Next is the Gardner tongs, which can be used. U-shaped tongs are there, used for the spinal traction. In patient having cervical injury, they are very easy to apply. During this, it is placed directly above the external auditory canal in the line with mastoid process, just top to the air. Now, next is specific tractions which we use, that is the head halter traction. Simple type of cervical traction for the management of neck pain is used. Here we use the weight, it should be less than 2.3 kg and can also be used a few hours at a time. Next is the Perkin traction, which is used for the treatment of fracture of tibia. In the diagram you can see, and for the femur from the subtrochanteric region distally. The basis for the management is that the use of the skeletal traction coupled with the active movements of the injured limb during Perkins traction. Next is the upper femoral traction, where there is a lateral traction for the fractures with medial or anterior force. Stretched capsule and ligament teres, which may reduce the acetabulum fragments. During this traction, there is a stretching of the capsule occur, ligament teres, and it reduces the fragments. Then next one is the 99 traction, which is devised by the Oberts in 1946, and they used it in the fracture of the femur with wounds over post aspects of the thigh, especially in the young children's. Matches flexion of the proximal fragments. Here both the hip and knee are flexed to 90 degrees and the skeletal traction is applied through lower femur or upper tibia. 3 methods of supporting leg in 90-90 traction is used. That's all about the traction procedures. Thank you so much.